Have you ever tried to measure a coastline? It sounds pretty simple, right? Just take a ruler and go. But what if I told you it's almost impossible to get an accurate answer? When we talk about the coastline of India, the Department of Fisheries keeps it at 8,118 kilometers. The National Council of Educational Research and Training keeps it at 7,516.6 kilometers. And we have a research letter that has it at 9,060 kilometers. So why is there such a difference when we are measuring the same coastline? So hey guys, welcome back to The More You Know. It's a series on YouTube where we go through interesting topics that we find on the internet. Today we're going to be talking about the Coastline Paradox. So let's get straight into it. So what the heck is the Coastline Paradox? So imagine you're trying to measure the coastline of any country and you take say a 30 centimeter ruler and you head out. You measure the whole distance and you get a particular number, but you think, hey, I want to be more accurate. Maybe I should take a smaller ruler. You measure it again with a smaller ruler, but hey, wait a minute. The coastline just got longer. The more you zoom in, the longer it gets. It's like the coastline is playing a bit of a trick on you. So when you're measuring the coastline, actually it depends on what scale you're measuring it at. Imagine you start with the size of a football or a soccer field. You'll get a rough outline, but say you switch to the size of a football or a soccer ball. Suddenly you're measuring all the bays and all the inlets. Then if you move to the size of a pencil, you're measuring almost every rock and every pebble. So it's like a never-ending cycle. The smaller you go, the larger it gets. So this paradox was first noticed by a British man named Lewis Fry Richardson. Richardson found that the length of the coastline depends on the size of the ruler that you use. If you use a really tiny ruler, you get every nook, every cranny. Of course, it possibly is more accurate, but it's not necessarily what you're trying to do when you're finding the length of a coastline. So the smaller and smaller you go, the more infinite the actual length of the coastline becomes. So if you go really small, the length of the coastline almost becomes infinite. So think about it, the coastline is not a straight line, right? It has a lot of jagged edges. The more you zoom in, the more details you'll see. It's like when you zoom into a photo and you see all those awkward blemishes and stray hairs. Yeah, coastlines have them too. And it's not just a theoretical problem, it does have real world implications. For example, countries use coastlines to measure things like territorial water or fishing rights. Imagine telling countries that their shared coastline got 20% longer because you've reduced the size of the measuring stick. So for those of you who like the brainy stuff, this all ties down to fractals. So fractals are basically never-ending patterns which are self-similar across various different scales. So that basically means that the more you zoom in or the more you zoom out, it looks very similar irrespective of how much you're zooming in or out. So picture a cauliflower. Yeah, cauliflower. It looks quite similar no matter how much you zoom in or zoom out. That's fractals for you. Coastlines work very similar. They are nature's cauliflower. I guess cauliflower is also nature's cauliflower, but you get the point. Yeah, they are endlessly intricate and surprisingly difficult to measure. So how does this actually affect us besides probably making cartographers and geographers cry? So this paradox actually messes with things like maps and GPS. Ever notice how the distance you walk seems longer than the distance you drive, even if it's the same route? It's because your walking path is more detailed with every single turn, every single nook and cranny that you're changing paths. We just gotta accept that coastlines are rebels. So they refuse to be neatly measured, reminding us that nature doesn't always fit into our perfect boxes that we set out for it. That's okay, it's a beautiful, chaotic mess, just like life is. So the next time you're at a beach, maybe look at the coastline and give it a nod of respect that it deserves. And if you see someone measuring it, know that they're in for a chaotic ride. So thanks for sticking around on this mind-bending trip through coastlines. So here are some random bonus facts. I hope you enjoy them. So Hawaiian pizza, which I'm sure most of you know, combines pineapple onto pizza. It wasn't actually first made in Hawaii. It was invented in Ontario, Canada in 1962. And just for the record, pineapple on pizza does taste quite good. You can leave your hate in the comments below. The Eiffel Tower can actually be 15 centimeters taller during the summer. That's just because it expands due to the heat. I am is the shortest complete sentence in the English language. And on that note, I am done with the quick facts. The more you know. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button, please subscribe, and let me know about any other crazy, fascinating facts you'd like me to talk about. Leave it in the comments below. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and maybe don't trust rulers too much.